Hey folks, Jeremy with Whitetail Dreams Real Estate here. I am the broker and founder of Whitetail Dreams Real Estate, and I wanted to thank you for visiting our website today, and we hope you enjoy it. We've done a lot of work to be able to continue to enhance the website and bring buyers and sellers alike a great buying and selling experience. Today we're going to talk a little bit about selling real estate, and one of the misnomers is in the real estate industry is that everything is equal. And I assure you that it is not. The land guys, the recreational guys, the farm guys and gals as well are the realtors that are out in the field every day are really at a different level. And let me tell you why. We are all licensed realtors. We belong to the MLS, we belong to the list hubs, we belong to all of the things that are a part of getting a property sold in the traditional sense. However, when it comes to recreational land and farm type properties, they take an immense amount of work and an extremely intense amount of knowledge that goes with that. And one of the things that we pride ourselves on are having that knowledge. And we've, over the years, have acquired a team of people who have that same knowledge base. And it goes above and beyond. It goes into the title insurance. It goes into forest management. It goes into CRP and government type programs. It goes into water. It goes into building restrictions, zonings, things that are so far above and beyond the average agent's knowledge. We really get to stand out. And I think that's the part of we make it look easy, and you don't get to see the real workings of that type of sales process. So one of the things that we want to come to you today in our sales portion of the video or our sales portion of our website is to kind of explain how we overcome objections, how we overcome problems that do pop up. And as a seller, one of the things that I think a lot of people have this belief in is that you can put it online and sell it yourself. And I think that there's a detriment to doing that. And we've seen it over and over again. And yes, there are properties that are going to get for sale by owner, and they are going to get sold just by virtue of the demand for property. But there are properties, especially in the hunting, recreational, and farming world, that they're easement accessed. There may be an encroachment. Somebody might be selling something. The fence might be off. How do you handle those types of problems? And that's where a land specialist or a recreational property specialist or a land expert is really going to shine. And where they're going to shine is the knowledge of being able to identify problems before they actually exist, meaning at the first walk of the property. You know, will it need a survey? Will it not need a survey? When title insurance comes and you have only a few days to really kind of address some of the problems that happen with title insurance, how does that affect you? And those agents can quickly identify those problems and know how to navigate them, how to settle an issue, how to negotiate a line encroachment or a home encroachment or a building encroachment, how to handle maybe a judgment or a lien or a short sale or foreclosure, how to handle transfer of an MFL. There's a lot of things inside this that the traditional realtor just doesn't have that knowledge. They don't teach that knowledge at the MLS school or the realtor school. And that's where this has to be taught through the process. And my knowledge and my background is title insurance. I started in title insurance in the late 90s and just kind of continued through it and learned through the process of almost 10 years in that industry how to solve problems at a very high level, how to deal and work with attorneys, how to deal and work with building and zoning administrators and work through those issues. And therefore we've trained an entire team on that. So one of the things that we're going to come to you today with is there is almost always an issue with vacant land, recreational land. There's an issue, even if you don't know there's something, things do pop up and we're here to resolve them. The other part of it is once a property is identified as we're going to sell it, there's going to be, how are we going to sell this property? Every property is different. Some properties are going to need a custom built website. Some properties are going to need Google. Some properties are going to need other outlets. We use all those outlets. We're able to take a lot of properties that are traditionally listed with realtors. They go expired. People have had no luck in 6 months to a year selling a property, and they come to us and say, what are you going to do differently? And that's where we really shine. We do a lot of photography, we do a lot of videography, and we do a lot of walking the property. I coined the phrase boots to ground. It's an old school method of doing work, putting your boots to the ground. Go walk a property, go understand it. The traditional real estate agent that drives up to a property, hangs a sign, they're looking for guys like us to sell that property. They're looking for land experts to sell the property. And that's not the best route. And though they may have a lot of people and they may have the ability to get it on the MLS and do those things, they're really not capturing the ideology of what hunters, outdoorsmen, recreational enthusiasts are looking for. It's more of a spray and pray type method. We work with buyers for your property that are a fit for your property. They want to know the story of the property. They want to know the history of the property. They want to know the legacy of the property, and they want to continue the legacy of your property. I can't tell you how many times we've had sellers where we bring in a family to show a property, and let's say the sellers are there or they're maybe on site, maybe answering some questions, and you are our best tool. As a seller, you're our best tool. But at the same time, you're gonna see that there's a similarity in personality in the people who buy property. I like to say, you don't choose a property chooses you. And that is, when you're selling a property, you are looking for someone who fits that property. And that comes through conversations, building rapport with buyers, and understanding the seller's expectations of us as real estate agents or realtors, if you will. And I think that's super important. So as you're watching and looking through the site at the things that we've done, I think it is extremely important for you to look at the quality of the work, but then understand what goes into selling a property. And that is, where's your power? What is the zoning? What's allowed under zoning? What programs are this in? I've heard so many times a property's an MFL, it can't be sold. I've actually heard attorneys say those things. And it couldn't be further from the truth. We just do an MFL transfer. The beauty of Whitetail Dreams is we've kind of come in and said, we are going to be a team of guys who specializes in working for a seller. I think the most important thing that gets lost in the selling process from real estate brokers and agents and agencies is, what is the importance of you to our agency? And I think a little bit different is, how are you important and how do we help you? What can we do to help you? And when I was looking for property when I first started, it was what caused me to first start this adventure of Whitetail Dreams was seeing agents just in it for fame or just in it for the money. And that gets passed through. Sure, properties get sold, people move on. But I wanted to truly help people. I felt like there was a void of people truly looking out for you. So we have a motto that we preach it. I preach it constantly in our meetings. That is, that seller only has one opportunity to sell their property, and it is our job to do the best we can for them, because they can't sell it again. And we don't want to leave $5,000 on the table. And I take that very seriously, to the point where, if you look back through the history, we've done very well with working with sellers with commission. If we don't bring a top or prime offer that is conducive to our type of commission, we work with you to make this work, especially if it's the right buyer, because the right buyer in your property helps you as a seller sleep at night. You get to know that you're selling this property and it's not going to be destroyed, or your legacy and all your work is not going to be destroyed, but continued along in a heritage and the ideology of why property exists. and continue the American dream of owning property. And that's what we want to give to you. We want to come to your property, work as hard as we can, understand the property, listen to the story, spend the time it takes to do the job right. And the shortcutting and the circumnavigating and you know, just putting it out there willy-nilly, yeah, it might work, but how much money did you leave on the table? What good is that agent doing for you? The other part of it is, I see a lot of people, a brand new agent, first time agent, or maybe an agent that specializes in commercial property or specifically residential property, will list a hunting property or a recreational property. And they have no idea what they're looking at. They drove by it, they may have taken some pictures from the road, and they just say, yeah, it's this. And when we bring a buyer to that property and it's not right, that gets cast throughout the entire buying field. And it's a small world, as a lot of people say, and we understand that putting your best foot forward every single time, and honesty. If you look at our website, you will see we film wetlands, we film grasses. Those are part of hunting land. It's important. It's important to the wildlife, it's important to the environment, and how to better accentuate those things. Don't try to hide them. It's a part of the story. Use it. And that's what we do. We're gonna help build the story and accentuate the story that you tell and get it to the next buyer. I've probably already taken too much of your time. I appreciate you guys visiting Whitetail Dreams. For the next level, contact one of our agents in your local area, and they will be glad to come out, walk your property, give you an idea of how to sell it and what kind of value your property might have and time frame to sell it, and do you well and get you on to the next chapter of your life. Or if you're just in it to sell property, taking a hard asset and turning it to a liquid asset, maybe through 1031 exchanges, or get you into the next property, which might be a bigger property. So thank you very much, and hope you guys enjoy the website.